that fucking hospitality.
Somebody else could fight that fucking Sith. Why does it have to be me?
Sorry, I had to fucking ruin it.
Just for him.
Star Trek Picard returns Star Trek to where it should be, about human beings and their alien friends striving to be the best they can be, and in the face of great adversity, and stepping up. And it's not about if it's what you feel, it's okay. No. What you feel is going to get you killed. You know what's not going to get you killed? Really knowing how to do your job, and working with other people that are really smart and know how to do their jobs. We have to put our emotions aside and get the job done. And that's what Star Trek to me was about. It was about being the best person, human being you can be, and finding the best people around you, the best of the best, to go out. And that's what you need to be on the final frontier. Otherwise, you will get killed. You will never survive. And Star Trek Picard is all about these people that are the best of the best coming back together and doing what they do best. And it was refreshing.
Well, this is the episode 5 discussion tonight. So, hey, everybody, welcome to another Corporeal, after show discussion for Picard season 3, episode 5. I mean, I'll be honest, I was pretty wrong about this episode. Apparently I swear they said episode 5 was the big Riker episode. So if I misheard it, I'm sorry, that's on me. But this episode, well, it still has its problems. I pretty much really like the Ro and Picard stuff. That was the stuff that really made me happy. So it was even their exchange perfect? No. But I liked how it basically put to rest a plot point that basically was actually in the penultimate episode of TNG. The Preemptive Strike is the name of the episode, because of this episode, I went back and rewatched the first episode she was in, Ensign Ro from season 5, and then I watched her final appearance, which was Preemptive Strike. So, yeah. So, I mean, the fact that this episode did this is a vast improvement, and as far as I'm concerned, this is the best episode in this series and probably the best New Trek episode yet. Is it as good as the original era? No. And that's what we're here to talk about. So, what's up, guys? What's up, Steve? Welcome back. Long time no see. I know we were watching it yesterday, and you had your issues with it, but even you agree that this is probably the best episode.
Oh yeah, I think by far it's the best episode. But they did a good job of taking you out of anything interesting happening by going to the subplot with I don't even remember her name anymore. Bitchface and Worf.
Rafaela,
whatever. Rafi, there you go.
Of House
Rafi.
Massacre.
Yeah. Anything good that was happening on the ship was then sort of shelved for when we had to go deal with their bullshit. And look, there was some good, this is one I actually said I was going to watch again. I might try to when, if work allows me to tomorrow, but what's up?
I did it.
Good, thank you.
The only thing left is the push curtains cup, and I got the tops on.
Thank you. Sorry.
Nice job, Easton.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Easton.
That's your segment from Easton. Yeah,
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 I
do the
tried
dishwasher
to.
for me.
I tried to get Easton to watch Star Trek, and I failed. I did get his brother to watch though. I
Yeah.
got him to watch Arena. So hey,
Ryan
Nice.
watched.
hey, my indoctrination is halfway done.
Yeah, there you go. But so I mean, I you know it did a good enough job. At least the stuff on on Titan and the Intrepid stuff was interesting enough that I need to go back and make sure it all makes sense. Because I feel like some of it is 4D chess and some of it's very convenient, but I don't quite know. It was fucking Patrick Stewart was actually acting, which was like, wow, okay, he can still do it. So maybe he was saving up for that episode because this was the emotional episode for him. But
Or maybe he was forced. Maybe he was forced to do that.
I think that was a big thing.
Looking like this.
Yeah, I think that was a big thing. Was and why this episode was better was he was acting. He seemed like he actually genuinely cared about this episode, and he was trying to put in the work. And whether it's one of those whether you let a lot of things pass. Like if it's like, oh, that's a little convenient. You let a lot of that pass if the characters are interesting and acting well, and you're drawn into a scenario. So they did a little bit of that. I think it was definitely way more interesting than anything happening in the first 4 episodes, but far from like gold standard A+ stuff. It was a big okay from me, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, I know people are saying that you are a pretty tough critic. Well, there's a reason you're a tough critic because you watch a lot of television. You watch a lot more television than I do. Like I've only seen a handful of shows outside of Star Trek. You've seen a lot more shows, and you've given me a massive list to watch. So, I mean, I'm not the TV expert here. Like,
well, I'm not an expert either. I'm just
you're more of an expert than me. You're really going deep down. But besides this, I want to say, what's up, Alex? How you doing?
I'm doing well. And to address Nosferatu here, I have been on board the trade Aaron Rodgers train for several years now. So this is not a moment of mourning. This is
he's just a distraction at this point, right?
Yep.
I mean,
we got to see what the picks are coming back, but overall,
he's officially gone. Did that happen today?
No, it's not official yet, but
okay.
He said he wants to play for the Jets. The Jets said they're interested. The Packers want to get him there.
Why would anybody want to play for the Jets? All right, we're getting sidetracked. Sorry.
By the way, I want to congratulate Balefire. She got 500. She's at 500 subscribers now. Congratulations. We're all very happy for you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, all right. So Alex, what did you think of the episode? Because last week you were pretty positive about episode 4. It brought a smile to your face, seeing the space jellyfish and them working together at the end. What about this one?
This one wasn't as good to me as 4 was. Like, and I will say there were far less logistical problems with this, but the highs weren't as high for me. So the lows weren't as low, but the highs weren't as high.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve.
No. You finish your thought, and then we'll talk. Sorry.
I don't know. It didn't grab me in the same way. And part of that is I've never loved Ro all that much. So her going out was kind of like, man, that was 15 years too late. But
29 years.
Yeah, lifetime too late. So yeah,
you're making me feel old now.
I don't know. I feel like no. I think I to a point I agree with Alex. I think there's a lot of convenience happening and a lot of pull on my heartstrings. We brought in a new character. We brought in an old character that everybody thought was done with just to kill her. Which you could say fridging since it's been 29 years since you saw her, just for an emotional payoff. So I mean, I get it. I just I thought I get where you're coming from. I get like there was more. This was more like a don't want to say exposition dump type episode, but this was sort of like an info gathering episode where you got a little information about what's going on in the plot, so you're not still completely lost as to what's happening, even though we're still completely lost as to what's happening because we have no idea why Aragon is in the upside down, and
yeah, I'm like at this point, just freaking tell us. Just tell us what's going on with him. Like, I thought they were going to reveal something at the end, and they're like, oh, it's like there's something wrong with you. I think there's something wrong. I think there's something very wrong with me. I'm like, okay, you said that. Yeah, we heard her say that. We know that. Tell us what. Give us something.
So that's a pretty shitty cliffhanger right there. I'm like, yeah, we know something's wrong. There's no reveal. You didn't reveal anything new. Yeah, and we're still seeing the same thing. We're seeing that door open and close. We see these red flashes. We see this red lighting, and we see these red veins that appear on people. They appear on walls and bulkheads. I'm just like, it's been several episodes. Just reveal what it is and move the story forward. Well, what I want to know, did you get to see any of our live watch, Alex, at all?
I did not.
Because I don't know if we want to put the cart before the horse here, but I sort of want to talk about your theory about what's going on with Aragon. I'm going to call him Aragon because I don't know is it Jack? I don't fucking know his name. Aragon. Yeah,
Jack Crusher, Picard's son that just kind of popped out of the woodwork.
But I have a theory, and I'm curious what you think.
Wait,
because
excuse
really
me.
Bad, so,
sorry, Steve. I have to read this. So for Salty Traveling Sea for $19.99. Thank you, Salty. The Generosity War continues. Hail, Brian and Alex. Oh, hey, Steve.
I know. It's
doing
okay.
Doing my 70s
Annie from Halloween sass. Gray in spirit.
Yeah, Gray is Gray cannot be here today. He is teaching, or he has to do something for work. I was curious if it was because I yelled at him or I kind of snapped at him last week. I did apologize though. So yeah, I did apologize. Yeah, because he was defending the episode, and I was saying no. I was like, no. That's like as far as I go when it comes to.
I feel like Gray is the most.
I apologize to him on a member stream.
Oh,
he's like, no.
I feel like he's so down to earth. He knows it's just all in good.
Oh, absolutely. But I still felt like I felt like I needed to say it to him. I think he needed to hear it. So.
Copy that. I get you.
Yeah.
I did the same thing once, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on. I don't want to see evil Gray ever. I have no idea what that entails, but evil Mad Gray, that could be. That's probably really bad. I don't ever want to see that.
So it's funny, Pips. I was re-listening to the Robert Meyer Burnett thing that he was on the was a cocktail hour or whatever, the drinkers hour thing, and he literally says this is not a repeat of Wrath of Khan. So I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Look, they're playing all the tricks here, man.
Yeah,
they brought back Picard's love interest from 29 years ago and killed her. So now it's like, oh, he must be really damaged. Feel bad. Like they're playing all the tricks, and like that's why it's like, I don't know. It's one of those like, I did think it was better than the rest, but that's a really low bar for me. I mean, I was giving out 3s and 4s, so. And then all the Rafi stuff you can just dump in the toilet and flush it. It's all bad.
Yeah, what are we gonna do about them goo people? I'm just like, shut up. The Star Trek character doesn't talk like that. Jesus,
she's totally out of place. Like it's like she's totally out of place. Like Worf is sort of actually. It's like, okay, if it was just Worf.
And she was in Starfleet and all, and she was in Starfleet before. And then, like the first time we see her, she is living in an RV right outside Vasquez Rocks. So Vasquez Rocks is the place where they shot a lot of famous scenes in Star Trek: Arena, Alternative Factor, the Dominion episode where they had to hold that upper ground and everything. A lot of episodes took place in Planet California, which I like Planet California. That's also a Star Trek staple I love. But they actually decided to go in universe and say, hey, this is actually Vasquez Rock. She's staying here, and then she's a junkie. And then we learned that because Picard protested them pulling out of helping Romulan refugees because of the stupid J.J. Abrams movies, having them destroy Romulus in the first place, she got her ass fired. Literally, that's what she says to Picard. She berates him and says, "You got my ass fired," and then she becomes a junkie after that. And then seasons 1 and 2, she goes on adventures with JL. I'm surprised we haven't heard JL once, and I'm so thankful. I hated when she said JL.
Everybody hated JL, didn't they? So they just didn't do it.
Yeah, Jake Luke Picard. I mean, that's what people or blue shirt Picard is the better. If you remember the episode Tapestry from TNG, where he sees an alternate version of his future where he does not, stick up for his friends and attack the Nausicaan, he would not have been captain. He would just been, blue shirt lieutenant, junior grade, because he never wanted to stand out,
Yep.
But a weak, in other words, weak and doddering, as some people like to say. So, But yeah, the Raffi stuff is just like the 4D chess. You pointed out 4D chess. Like, how did they put it? Like, I anticipated you anticipating me anticipating you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, seriously, like, what was that? That whole Vulcan gangster saying that, and that whole Vulcan gangster waspy. That was the dumbest shit I've seen. I mean, one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
The overacting Vulcan was a little bit like. Just it's logic. It's like, dude, can you just be a person? Like what are you doing? Like, it's just like, it was like weird. He's doing all this weird stuff. He's like, oh well, I knew you might be here, so I planned for places. It's like, what? Like, how you don't know that? How do you know any of this? Like, how do you know they're coming for you? To plan to ambush them, you have to know that. Like, I don't know.
And the stupid thing they did, they just go to Metalis Prime, and she shoots the phaser in the air, and then she threatens the people. What's gonna happen to you? What happened to Sneed's gonna happen to you? Where what happens to Sneed? He gets his fucking head chopped off. So she's threatening beheading of all of innocent people on this planet, so that what's his name, Kreen or Kryn or something pops up and shows up. I'm like, are we supposed to like this character at this point?
Dude, I was cheering for Kryn. Like, I was hoping he was going to wipe her out. RIP to one of the great ones. Lance Reddick passed today.
I know. I heard. He was in he's in The Wire. I saw him in The Wire. That was the last thing I saw with him, and I'm gonna be watching that. And he's in the John Wick movies. I like him as the maitre d' in the hotel, in the assassin's hotel.
Anybody know what happened? Like, what happened?
They found him dead. We don't know yet.
He was 60, so maybe a heart.
Maybe a heart attack, maybe an idea. But it was the reason I bring him up though is because in the Wire did crime well. This group that's writing Picard doesn't have it.
No idea. Yeah, no idea.
And it's just it ain't it. And having all of your scenes on one planet take place in one intersection is just awful. It's gotta go.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it might end here because of the completely convenient part of Ro being Worf's handler.
Oh, no, it's done. It's done. Like, their next episode.
But Rafi's still going to be around. That's the problem. So now Rafi is on the ship. So anything good happening on the ship, if there is anything, Rafi's going to be running down the hallway with their guns going, "Yo, bitch!" Bah, bah, bah.
just rewatching that scene is just cringe. Is just cringe as hell. So the whole Worf and Raffi thing is, I guess, over.
I think
unless they reunite with them and then they go off on another mission together, which I hope they don't do.
They may just send them off on their own, right? I mean, they could. They're not by Metalis. They could just say, "Hey, you go meet us there," and then we're gonna get pieces of them doing their spycraft stuff. That's not really spycraft. I mean, dude, she killed Worf. Like, I literally thought he was dead. I thought
Yeah,
they
and
killed
I
him.
loved your reaction. Like, they didn't fucking do. They didn't. Did they just seriously do that?
I mean, he should be dead, but like, I like she
I guess
gutted him.
He
Did you see that knife?
He
she
sheathed
put
his
in?
sword or whatever that was.
He
He used the Kalis technique to regulate his heart rate.
after being stabbed. Like,
not even
how
Spock
much-
could do that.
like,
Spock had to be injected
dude,
in a mock
like,
time.
he just got stabbed. I don't care how much meditation you're doing. You just got stabbed in the stomach. Like as far as we know, Klingon stomachs are where they're supposed to be, right? It's not like stomachs in the bicep or some bullshit
who
or in the
knows?
throat.
Who knows? Like for plot convenience, probably not.
So she gutted him, and then he was able, with this gut wound he's dead. I mean, do you know how hard it is to live after you get stabbed in the stomach? I'm sure you guys all know.
Well, you
it's
can
not
live.
very good.
I mean, from what I understand, you can live quite a while after being stabbed. But
but
you need,
stomach acid is
immediate
going all over
surgery.
your body. If you don't get medical attention immediately, you're done.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, I just got stabbed in the stomach.
Well, in addition, the adrenaline that hits you when you get stabbed, I don't give a shit how good you are at meditation. When that hits you, your heart is going 180 beats a minute, no matter what. That is not it's not a conscious choice. But
I don't. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Exactly right. Your body has reactions to certain things that it can't stop. Pain is one of them. I mean, at least, I mean, some pains you can ignore, but pains like that, surprising pains that such like he has this knife was that wide. Didn't have even like she ran him through. It's not like she just put the tip in, ladies, but like all the way to the hilt. And it's like, I hope I didn't go too far. It's like that came out the back. Like,
yeah, motherfucker, we saw the length of the knife. We saw how deep the knife went. Don't lie to me.
It's like you could have hit his spine. Like you just like gutted him. And it's like, just if that's the plan, just like have a slash or something, and then like I don't know. There's other way. Like
they say in Better Call Saul, she had to make it look real.
But here's the thing, like it was like I was so like that stab was so egregious and so just like he's dead. I really thought they killed Worf and she was gonna go on with the mission.
Oh my god! If that would have, if I did not see the trailer and I thought that, I probably would be I'd be probably breaking my own keyboard or something, or I'd be probably throwing my laptop or something. If that happened, like seriously, like.
I thought
the only reason why I
was
tolerate the Raffi stuff is because Worf is there.
I thought he was
and that's because of my weakness as a Trekkie.
Well, that's fine. Like, look, you like your characters. There's nothing wrong with that. I just wish there was some better writing around that. And it's like, I guess, like that's also the thing is like that I think maybe why you might feel like last episode was better, Alex. You stuck with the crew all episode, whether it was good or not. You were on
what it was.
You were on the Titan, and you stuck with the crew. That was the story of the episode. Whatever was happening on the Titan was the episode. So this one, anytime something got going, you jump. I mean, there might have been more Raffi and Worf in this episode than the crew on the Titan. So
I don't think so. I wouldn't go that far.
It's
but I will just say that it was so shit. Like the fake out death was so poorly executed that it never even occurred to me that he was dead. Like if they were going to kill Worf, it was going to be something huge and dramatic and meaningful. It wasn't going to be Raffi killing him, dealing with some mini boss that doesn't even matter. So it's just like stop wasting my time with this bullshit. Stop wasting my time with this fake out death. You don't have the balls to kill Worf in the first place, so stop pretending you do.
I agree.
Well, I'm the opposite. I didn't know that. I thought he was dead because of knife about the length of a fucking spear in him.
Well, see, all right, wait. I want to read the super chat really quickly. Sorry.
Sorry.
$20 from Lyle Hammock. Thank you, Lyle. Good to see you, man. I hope everything's going well with you. He says, "What's up, gentlemen? Just a little something for all work has taken over my life, but I still watch when I can have great streams and hail. Thank you, sir. Rock on."
Lyle doesn't
And,
like me anymore. He doesn't come to my streams anymore. I'm kidding, Lyle. I'm joking. I hope all is
I mean, it's because of all the rage baiting, Steve.
Well, that's true.
Seriously.
I am pure rage bait. So you're right. I forgot. Shit. My shtick is. You figured out my shtick. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I also wanted to answer Pips's little question right here. The episode itself trailer. No, the trailer itself shows Worf talking to Riker and saying, "I'm a pacifist now." That hasn't happened yet in the show, so that's how I know he wasn't dead, and I know they're going to reunite anyways. So yeah, logic dictates.
Yeah,
and logic of this Kryn dude is just flawed.
Flawed. Yeah, no,
he's like, I have this little thing. Are you gonna give it to us? That sounds logical. I'm like, that is not. Sorry.
So does anybody else have a issue with the "I know everything before you" trope, and I'm gonna tell you everything that I know about you, so I can look smarter than you thing? Like, it's like, oh, I know that. So you, so no. So the portal weapon. So you went here. So you did this. So I know all about it. It's like, okay.
Yeah, buddy, we watched the previously on episode. You didn't need to give us a recap of the events of the last 4 episodes. But no, I mean, look, like, fucking cheap ass Vulcan guy isn't Stringer Bell. Like, so
no way, not even close. Stringer Bell is in The Wire. Stringer Bell is what? Oh God, I can't. Idris Elba. Character. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's no Stringer Bell, that's for sure. Fuck no.
And it's like that's what they wanted him to be, but
ain't it? Vulcan? Who, the Vulcan guy?
Yeah. Like just a composed composed gangster that's just like straight faced. You can say whatever you want to him, and he'd be like, "Fuck you."
If he didn't emote so much, I probably would have been more terrified if he was like, truly acted like a Vulcan. I thought he was a freaking Romulan the way he was acting.
You did.
You emoting.
That's what you said.
My Vulcans, and he was talking this weird philosophy. Pride leads to downfall, but patience leads to great rewards. Stuff stupid.
I thought he was a high elf, so there's where I'm at.
What, that type of high?
Mandalorian?
Probably. I haven't watched any of that either.
I haven't watched any of that. I need to do something now. Sorry. High elf. Man.
So wait, Fractured Vision, they didn't kill. Well, they did, but they said that they didn't. They didn't kill Worf. But they did kill Worf. But they said that they didn't.
Yes, so Steve, wait, I've watched enough Wheel of Prime to know that a knife that's that wide and that long going through somebody's torso doesn't kill them.
Dude, somebody needs to make a compilation of all the bad knife wounds. Like, I mean, you're right. Moron freaking took a sword through her chest that big, and she's like, "Walk it off, bitch. I'm fine."
The one that you're talking about, episode 1, right?
Yeah. Second door blade right in the shoulder.
I think it might have been the same knife.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Honestly, the Rafi and Worf stuff is such a fucking distraction from what this is supposed to be that it's like it's not even worth talking about. Like, if you guys, or if the show isn't going to treat it seriously, why should I?
Yep,
I agree.
Yep. And it's just, how much better would this show fucking be if in the very first scene Worf walked down an alley and saw Rafi with a fucking needle in her arm and just kept on moving?
Well, because there's a lot and I want to get to some of the positives just because we got to do our work. Gray's not here because there were some. I think there were some positives. Obviously, we thought this one was better. The more we're talking about it, the more I'm realizing how much Rafi really ruined this episode. But there were some stuff. So we'll get. I want to get to that, but it's like the mystery box stuff. It needs to end too, because now I'm not just talking about Aragon. I'm talking about the whole B plot because they contacted Worf contacted his handler, And once again, we act like we don't know who the handler is. It's just one word responses for no fucking reason. It's like, so why is he contacting her again in on the television, or on the view screen at the end of the episode to talk to Ro? What's the difference? Oh, well, we needed to have the reveal that Ro was, Worf's handler. It's like you hurt stuff in the middle of your episode because you had to wait for your mystery box reveal at the end that his handler is Ro. Now it just makes that whole interaction make no sense. But except for the fact that we know, well, you didn't want to tell us that Ro was the handler because you wanted to reveal it, right? It actually hurts the episode. It would have made more sense if the reveal was in the middle of the episode. And you see Ro be like, Worf, I can't talk now. Shit's fucked. Do what you got to do, and she just cuts him off or whatever, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
I think that's more impactful than the weird messages she sent back. It's just like, what the, like, come on.
And that wasn't even her. That was people above her, according to what they were saying. But then again, maybe it's unreliable.
I thought she was like, I thought she was the top of this pyramid hunting out all these guys. No, there's somebody above her.
They're saying they're like, oh, it may be someone above her, or I don't know. Like this, when they state stuff in an episode, it makes me wonder if they're even correct or not. This is just more unreliable narration and all that.
So it's just another mystery box, then, right? I mean,
yeah.
I think would have been much more impactful.
I prefer the matter of fact nature of classic Star Trek. I rather just have them tell a story. I mean, there may be a mystery on like how certain things come to pass.
Yeah,
well, and then we watched the rest of the episode and how it builds up to that. Voyager did this quite a bit. I think Enterprise did that quite a bit too. They
even could have revealed somebody we've never met as the handler, and then they walk you into it. Like you find out he's like fucking some admiral in Starfleet or some shit. You're like, oh shit, that like. It's like, wow, that guy's actually freaking there, right? It's like you can put that shit together, right? It's just like what all the cloak and dagger stuff is so bad. It's so bad, and it's hard to overcome. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, I can buy that. So
what did you like? Like I want to hear what you liked about it.
About what?
About the episode. I know Rafi and them. There's nothing to like. I'm sorry.
I mean, I found it amusing that in the beginning of the episode when Rafi and Worf were fighting, I just got like nothing but Star Wars vibes. Like Worf was just like a combination of Qui-Gon and Dooku.
Oh,
like especially when he does the one hand thing and guards himself. That made me think of Dooku, and then him doing the kneeling. Like him doing the kneeling made me think of Qui-Gon, right before he gets killed by Darth Maul and all that. So yeah, but that was that I wouldn't say that's something I liked. That's just something I found amusing. And
once again, cringy sword fight using fucking weapons that could kill you, and he's swinging to hit.
Yeah, he's using like some blade that some blade that was just Michael Westmore, I think, designed. I think it was Michael Westmore, maybe not.
I don't know. Just use
and she was holding like rods, like steel rods.
Why isn't he using rods? Just have him use rods with handles so he doesn't kill her, so he can hit her.
Yeah, like, but at least she wasn't kicking his ass. That was the thing I did like was that she was. I mean, she did land a few hits, but it didn't phase him at all.
No, we said
talk about a subversion of expectations. He got her, and I was fully expecting the your impatience is your weakness, and she was going to go, your lack of aggression is yours, and then trip him and flip him and win the fight.
Flippy kicks. I was waiting for flippy kicks. I didn't get any.
Yeah, and they did that like 3 times, and every single time he was like, I'm wholly unimpressed with your efforts here. Be better.
Yeah.
So the fact that she didn't embarrass him, I enjoyed.
Yeah, no. We were both we both said the same thing. Well, at least I said it's like at least he kicked her ass like handily, like he just whooped her. And you know what that's setting up, right? You all know why he whooped his ass, right? Her ass, right? So we knew at the end that he was faking because he whooped her ass like 5 times. So we know he's far superior to her fighting. So there's no way she could have stabbed him unless he let her.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I didn't realize that. Jesus.
Yeah, it was wholly
such
unnecessary setup.
such intelligent writing. Wow, wow. That makes me like this episode even more. Not.
I was
By
gonna
slow-
say, wholly unnecessary setup. On the other hand, if I did enjoy Rafi getting her ass beat, so
Well, so hold on. So fracture. So there is stuff that Emporio especially liked. So we're really focused on the bad right now because it's
We're getting
almost
this
like
out of the way.
It almost should have been 2. Well, no, we don't want a full Rafi episode. Jesus Christ, what am I talking about? But it's like 2 segments in the same thing. Like there's some stuff happening on the ship that could be good, but then you get distracted by all the crappy shit that's happening on the ground. Like I think that's probably what took Alex out of the episode. If I had to, hazard a guess, was that it's just like you're getting into some stuff and then Rafi, you're getting into some stuff, Rafi, and it's like, oh Jesus, can we stop, please? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So all right. So I think So yeah. So I feel let's stop talking about Rafi.
Yes.
Let's talk about the other kind of
Can
the
I
other.
get it out of the way though? One thing, can I get it out of the way?
Yeah,
After
sure.
I just want to say, after her, I just want to ask if you found this ridiculous too. After she shot her pistol off or whatever, to phaser off into the air and threatened to cut everybody's head off, right?
Excuse me.
Do you think? How did you feel about the snarky remark she made about him cutting the head off of Sneed? Or did you guys miss it?
Oh yeah, then she's like, oh, like you like we could have talked to him, but then you cut off his head, and then she's like, I was trying to save your life.
No, they're talking to Karnak or fucking whatever the guy's name is, and she's like, you killed Sneed, and he's like, good job, over the fucking wharf. I'm like, fucking bitch. Like, you just threatened to cut everybody's heads off. You're being a bitch.
Yeah. What's funny was I picked up on that, but I didn't pick up until I rewatched it just now that she was threatening everybody with
decapitation.
That's why that was fresh in my head.
Cut everybody's head off. Yeah, it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's why we like these characters. We like their we like their just genuine wholesomeness.
It's like she got transported from another universe into this show. It's very weird, but all right.
Yeah, probably the mirror universe at this
Maybe.
point.
All right, so go ahead. What did you like? Go for it. Like you want? Let's stop talking about Rafi.
Before we even get into what I like, I want to save that for last. I want to talk about the other elephant in this room, which is the pure mystery box element, which is Mr. Jack. Jack.
You want to talk about it now? Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about it now.
Okay.
What's funny was we were watching it yesterday, and we're watching like the last 3 episodes opened with a freaking always open with a stupid flashback to like 5 years ago, 15 years ago, all that time in between. Then they could have been making, Star Trek shows. We're getting all these personal things. And I hate that. They did that in the earlier Picard seasons. I don't know if this is a Picard thing, but I don't like those at all. I just don't like how they're trying to set up the theme for the episode. I just want to see them open on the starship. And that's what they did. They opened on the Titan. We see that we're on the bridge. We're hearing Star Trek sounding music. Nice shot, beautiful shot of the bridge. And officers are going about their business, doing their jobs, and updates and everything. But then Jack comes on the bridge and he murders them all. And then you get this weird. You get these weird. Maybe Alex, maybe you're more the technical guy, but you get these rotating Dutch angle. And then you get these, I call them these jerk pans where you're like, like that. Like what is that called? Do you know what that technique is, that filming technique or that editing technique is? I hate that.
You're talking the sharp zooms where it's
that what it is?
Where it's
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about. The quick in and outs.
Yeah, just the.
It wasn't a zoom. It was like it. It was like they're panning and
yeah, the staggered pans.
Yeah, the staggered pans. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess this goes to me, and this is another reason that I really didn't like this episode. I again, Jack, I don't believe you. You don't have the balls to kill, generic brown woman. Like you're not going to do that on this show. So stop pretending you are. And I'll even go so far as to say, man, I actually disagree with you, Nerdporial. I liked, well, I shouldn't say that. I appreciated the attempt at a theme that they were doing in the last couple episodes. And as soon as I saw that there wasn't a flashback, I knew, okay, there's not going to be a theme here. Because the only way that these people are bright enough to do a theme is to start with a flashback. And they should be good enough to do themes without flashbacks, but they're not. So the writing 101 flashback setup is fine with me. And as soon as I saw that they did more fake out murders, I was just like, okay, so this episode isn't going to be a sort of an exploration of ideas. It's going to be action show in space. Because this could have been an episode of Dark Matter or an episode of The Expanse. There wasn't an exploration of ideas that I would describe as Trekkian. Which is, honestly, that is probably the biggest reason that I didn't like this episode. Don't get me wrong.
Well, yeah, no. I think you're right, because it's all focused on the espionage, takeover, aspect of what's happening, right? And then I don't know how many fake outs did we have from Jack to the point where
he kills everybody, and then he's actually in his room, and then then he goes to the transporter room one. Okay, we got to talk about that. He goes into he wanders into the transporter room because he doesn't want to stay in his quarters. He starts hearing things. He's hearing Beverly's voice. I was listening to the subtitles say it's Beverly's voice, so it's his mother's voice, and we hear Jack, come home or connect or something like that. But he goes into the transport room. He sees more red as they're beaming. I don't know if the red, the thing is, what does the red mean? Does the red mean that they're shapeshifters, that when they go into the transporter room, that those people, those poor crewmen, if he had 500 crewmen on the Titan, I think they are reduced now to 100. They're a skeleton crew now. You said this yesterday, Roe had them sent to the ship, reassigned to the Intrepid, the other ship, and
it's one of the
when
biggest
they're beaming,
problems
we see red for some reason. So does that mean they're shapeshifters? Shapeshifters.
Jack is carrying the biological technology that is the secret to the changeling's ability to transform better. Is what it is. And the changelings want Jack because they don't want the Federation to get Jack and use Jack's biological.
How do you know?
Can I say just trust me? Because I've seen a lot of television and I know where this is going.
Okay.
Because I think you're probably onto something, but I think the reasons he's able to carry it, I think he's Borg changeling. I think he's going to be some bullshit hybrid. I think he's going to be some bullshit, the Borg are coming into this somewhere, and it's going to be through Jack. Jack's going to have some sort of Borg connection. That's why you hear the whispers in the back of his head or whatever. I think it's going to, and maybe he's downloaded the information or something without knowing it, because he can do that because he's part Borg, right? Or something. It's going to be something like that. But there's probably one of the, and it seems like a small thing, but I think that's one of the bigger problems I had with the episode was that Roe killed 400 people at least without a thought.
By blowing up the
she sent, so hold on, so just play this out with me. She knows that her crew is fully compromised. She knows that most of them, if not all of them except for her, are changelings. Maybe there's a few more that aren't, but she knows she knows her ship is infested with changelings, whether it's all of them or some of them. She doesn't
at least at the upper levels of command.
Yeah, she knows that she knows her crew is in is in peril. It's dangerous to be on her ship. She doesn't even want to talk to her crew, the crew that came over with her. She knows her ship is doomed. She sends I don't know what a skeleton crew is on a starship in Star Trek, but she reduces the Titan to a skeleton crew. She sends all of them over to the Titan, full well knowing that she is putting them in a much worse situation than they are on the Titan.
So
then she kills them.
Did she realize that it was done? Or did she realize that it was compromised at the time?
Yeah.
Or did
she
she
knew.
realize?
She knew
She knew when she beamed over because they had that whole conversation in the bar again.
Oh, they did. She didn't want them to beam her because she was worried that they would kill her via the transporter. That's why she wanted to take the shuttle.
Yeah,
or maybe they have the means of.
It was something like that, but she knew her ship was compromised to the max. And then she's like, well, I don't know if you have any more changelings on here, but only people you can trust, and I'm sending the rest over to the Titan. And then she killed them. Whether they were changelings or not at that point, I don't know. But I mean, she probably did the right thing, blowing up the Intrepid. Like, I'm not saying that's, but my problem is she sent 400 people, not knowing whether they're humans or changelings or anything, without a thought. She just sent them. And I think that's a problem. I'm disregard for human life. I don't know.
I would almost look at that as a no-win situation.
Well, how does she know? How does she know that she got all of them? She doesn't know. She just randomly sent people over to the ship and kept a few. Like you can see, the way she did it didn't accomplish anything. She could have sent 400 regular crew over there, and the 100 that are left, 50 of them were changelings.
And they had no means of vetting all the people. Like the logic behind this was, I want you to have the skeleton crew and make sure you have. She says, make sure they're loyal and everything.
Yeah,
the less people.
She chose the ones to send off. How is he going to make sure they're loyal? She sent the ones off.
Yeah, and
I thought Shaw chose the ones.
I don't.
Well,
honestly, I don't
regardless, Shaw's sending.
Shaw has no way of knowing that any of the 100 people that he kept aren't compromised.
Exactly. Or if there are 100, I don't know how many they kept, but there's definitely a handful.
We learn in this episode that they have the ability, like unlike the shapeshifters in Deep Space Nine, you can't just do the typical the thing blood test. Do the blood test and see whether or not they're truly a shapeshifter or not. In this case, they can shapeshift their internal stuff. They can shapeshift organs. They can shapeshift blood plasma, and so it makes them virtually undetectable at this point. Which is them trying to say, "Hey, this is even more dangerous than the shapeshifters in Deep Space Nine."
My point
they have no means of vetting. They have no means of detecting them now.
So my point is, sending people away probably actually hurts them more because you have no idea who is a changeling, who isn't.
I'm curious though if these
the
are
argument I would make is that it would be helpful in the sense that if you think that you have 3 changelings on board and you get rid of 80% of your crew, there is a solid chance that you will get rid of all 3.
And you're dooming the rest.
You're dooming the people on the Titan, or you are hoping that the changelings take the position, we're not going to eliminate all the humans. We're going to continue to pretend like everything is fine and that we are actually a loyal Federation ship.
My issue is they've already shown that they're capable of dealing with the changeling on the Titan.
They are, but any double agent on a starship is potentially catastrophic.
By their own rules, you just do a ship-wide search for the little pots and you destroy them.
Pots were stupid in the first place.
Well, I'm just saying that's the rules they created. So a better way than sending off everybody.
Assuming you're confident that you can find them all.
Well, I mean, they were very confident they could find the one.
They could find the first one.
If you do a quarters by quarter search, since these changelings just leave them in their quarters, you can ferret out who's a changeling and who's not real easily, and then you just lock them up. It's anybody that you're not sure about, put them in the brig or put them in jail. They have jails on the starships, right? I'm just saying that it wasn't even. I felt like it wasn't even a thought. We're just gonna move. I don't know your crew from Adam. I don't know who they are, whether Shaw did it or not. And then even if Shaw did it, Shaw is more likely to take people off the ship that are more loyal to Picard and to Riker than not. So if Shaw did it, they're even in a worse position because he's putting people that are loyal to him because it's his ship, not people that are loyal to Picard and to Riker.
Yep. So I guess the only question that I would ask, and I know I'm doing a lot of work for the writers here, if she had said, we suspect there are 5 changelings on board, we're going to send off 80% of the people. We're going to send off as many people as we can and still make the ship operable so that one of our ships can get away, that one ship has the best chance of making it. Does that work for you? Or
no?
And no? Okay, fair enough. That would have fixed it for me. But
my problem is there is a mechanic called confining people to quarters.
Yep. But they do not appear to have any way of testing currently, short of, she said, intense dissection was the only way.
Right, but if you can, so you take your trusted people, you can find the rest of quarters. If anybody's wandering by the ship, you put them in jail. Be like, you know the rules. Why are you out?
Trust
in the jail you go.
People.
I don't trust you. You're not following rules. In you go.
Trust that you can find all the pots before the Intrepid figures out what you're doing and blows you up.
No, you just attack the Intrepid, disable them, and leave. Or just don't send. Like, she just left willy nilly. Just say, you know what, we're leaving. This blah 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 blah, and don't, like, I don't know why. It's not like they were switching crew to take over the Titan. They just took people off of the Titan. So it's like, I don't understand why, like, you know, if they were switching crew and being like, you're unable to run this ship, we're taking over, then crew would have been switching ships and like, we're taking control of the Titan. That's not what they did. Yeah,
and especially with the situation they're about to go in, this really dangerous situation, I think you need a full crew.
That was
this is that's dumb. I mean,
yeah. If I had just duct tape and bubble gum repaired my ship, I would want everybody on board in case something goes wrong. So no.
Yeah. I think it's just a weird, you know, it was just, I don't know. It was just like a weird way to get more people off the ship, and it didn't compute for me. Especially, I didn't, you know, and I get the no win situation thing. It's like, well, we got to make the hard choice. I got to get everybody off the ship to survive this one ship. If we lose 300 because the only chance of survival is the Titan and getting all the changelings off the Titan, well, we got it. You know what? It's unfortunate, but it's a sacrifice we have to make. We got to lose those souls for the bigger picture. I get all that.
I got a question.
Have no idea who they transported anywhere.
I got a question for you guys. Yeah. Maybe you guys, do you think people are being forced to? Do you think it's like, think of like conspiracy or body snatchers type of situation? Do you think people are being morphed into shapeshifters? Hence the reason why they are evolved or something. What do you think? What do you think of that idea?
What do you mean forced into shape? You think they're
like body snatchers? You're the invasion of the body snatchers.
So they're Goa'uld from Stargate.
Yeah, the Dominion is kidnapping people and, you know, inserting a changeling into them and controlling them.
It can't. You have two LaForges at the same time.
No, I mean but that's their new super weapon. That their new super weapon is
taking over bodies.
Yeah, and that Jack has part of one in him, and that's why that Venick smoky lady has one in her arm. I don't know. I think we'll get an answer to this, and I'm sort of curious to see what the pros and cons of this new changeling technology is.
I guess we'll see. I don't know. I think that's another stolen idea. I mean, it's a parasite.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, yes, like conspiracy, like in the episode, season 1 TNG episode conspiracy, like these creatures were taking over people from, you know, to the highest level of Starfleet, and you know, there was like the Queen, and then they killed the Queen, and then like also, like, you know, because they killed the Queen, all the, you know, the minions or workers or whatever
Well,
who
I
died.
guess my question is, what's the difference? Like, so like, why, if you can make a perfect copy, why do you need the person's body?
I'm just thinking they find
Is-
they
you
just
know-
convert the body into the gelatinous substance,
Well, but that's why I said, that's why I
that
brought
you
up
can, so that
LaForge.
you
raw
can evade-
material,
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
that you can
LaForge.
evade the censors.
Well, because
and then they remold the mind into whatever they wish, into whatever they want, instead of them being the founders from the Dominion.
so then what happened with LaForge clone? Like, she's still alive.
That's true. That's true.
Unless they can repurpose the.
Well, they can. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
That was just an idea. It's just a dumb idea. But
I don't think it's a dumb idea. I think it's a good thing to speculate. But I don't
because,
think
like, sorry, go ahead, Alex.
no, I don't think that we have enough information to come to a conclusion right now. But I shit, man. If you can't speculate about the abilities of unknown aliens in science fiction, what can you speculate about?
Of course. No. Yeah. Of course.
And truthfully, the fact that we're speculating about this and not whether or not Rafi is a lesbian is a huge mark in favor of Picard season 3 compared to its predecessors.
Oh yeah,
I guess
that goes without saying. But I got to read the super chat from Salty. Thanks, Salty, for $4.99. Thank you again. We are the Drunk Poriel. I don't know what that Drunk Poriel. What is that? That doesn't exist. That means nothing. As they say in Westworld, that means nothing to me. Prepare to be assimilated. Oh, hey, Steve.
Hi.
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 To the Easton. Hi.
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 But okay, let's talk the heaviest conversation between Picard and Ro. Is that in the office or is that in the bar?
I'd say both. I haven't really rated them.
I think in the office, the bar is more a little bit.
The bar is where
touchy-feely.
she reveals about the. I mean, the bar is really where they go and talk about, like, you know, they're testing each other, and they're really going. They're really grabbing into emotion. They're going into real emotional territory there, where he brings up how she got on board the Enterprise and Ensign Ro, like, you know, she was wearing an earring, and that's against Starfleet, dress regulation or dress code regulation, and then she brings up something about him, trying to mentor her, to mold her into his image and stuff. But yeah, it got pretty heavy. It got pretty heavy in the bar. And that's kind of what led to them trusting each other. Now, do I think the trust should have been as easy as that? Probably not. She's like, "Do you trust me?" He's like, "Yeah." Like within that. I mean, I kind of get that, but at the same time, I'm kind of in between on that. I don't know.
Right. The scene in the office I really liked, where she was like, "Tell me what you know," and he was like, "Fuck off! I don't have to do shit." Like,
yeah, he's asking her questions that we, the viewer, especially, or me, the Trekkie, want to hear. Like, what? Like, I wanted to hear, like, how did you become, Starfleet, or how did you become Starfleet intelligence? How did you? What the hell happened to you? Why did you do what you do? And that was. I mean, that's one thing I was always wondering, if they ever brought her back for something. And I mean, Deep Space Nine, they were considering. I mean, she was originally supposed to be in Deep Space Nine, but then she had bad agents, and they told her not to do it. And well, they scrapped her character and created Karen Nerys instead.
Did you like the episode setup? How it was like I can't help but feel like, as I was watching it, when she pulled the gun on him on the way to the hospital, I was like, oh, this is where the commercial break would be if I was watching this live. Like, I was waiting for a commercial for a truck to pop up.
There's a few of those, yeah.
It was almost like a fun homage to sort of the way that old episodes were formatted on television.
I do have to say, Joseph Dredd brings up a wonderful point. If you see it there, you want me to highlight it for you?
This one?
There, yeah, that one. Yeah. His baby mama secretly sends him a message, trust no one, and then they go into a bar and he immediately trusts somebody that he doesn't trust.
Yeah.
So like you think like that, I mean, I don't know. Like the tension from there being changelings everywhere and the lack of, it's like, is that supposed to be us like going, wow, they have a real strong connection? And to be honest, like there was some, like, I think it was more that the acting was actually okay this episode, at least with them. It's like, okay, that this is better. But it's like, with that message, I feel like Picard should have more reason to not trust her than anything, no matter what she's saying. Like Beverly is somebody he deeply trusts and deeply confides in.
Yeah.
Right? To the point where they're stealing a starship and going to save her against all the rules, right? So that should put him on the defensive, like big time, I would think. But I have a question, and I'm going to wait for Alex to be back because I'm curious what you guys think, because I just thought about it now, and it's bothering me a little bit because I think it's another one of these things to manufacture tension, and I think it's a little bit silly, but I'm not sure what you guys think. So I guess I'll just ask you. Hopefully he gets back soon. Why didn't she just have the earring in? Like, I don't understand why, if she had it, why didn't she just have it in?
Have it in what?
She didn't have it in her ear. Why didn't she have it in her ear? Why wasn't she wearing it? Like, part of his contention about her identity is that she doesn't have her earring.
Yeah,
So
that was
wouldn't having her earring help with him realizing that she's not a changeling? Like, because it's so important to her. I mean, we all know, we got the, oh my god, the earring is a freaking microchip scene, but I just, I don't know why she just wasn't wearing it.
I don't know either. It's
not like the changelings are going to grab it off of her ear or something. It's like, if that's an important thing to her.
Yeah, I mean, she was wearing it when she came on board, and they told her to take it off. And then at the end of that episode, Redson Road.
Oh, was she wearing it when they came on board?
And no, in her very first appearance.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that was it was a major thing. And at the end of the episode, when she kind of earns the trust of Picard, and things start to go all right for her, then she's like, Picard asked her to stay on board the ship. And because originally she was meant to be for that single mission in that first episode, and she had a bad history already with that with them. Like Picard and Riker are both like they weren't even made aware of that she was she was to be on board, or she was going to be part of the personnel on the Enterprise, because an admiral kind of went over their heads and kind of did it for them. And you're like, well, why did you send her? Why not send another Bajoran? And everything. So like there was she brought like a bit of a darker edge to TNG, which is why they created her character in the first place. And they wanted someone who would have a dark past. So that's why so with her, not just with her, but they created the Bajorans and basically the means of Deep Space Nine through that one episode. Like that's how important the episode Ensign Row is to not only TNG but to the franchise going forward. Like, yeah. So, but the airing was something that she demanded. Was her one condition for her staying on board. So yeah, you're right. She should have had that airing on.
I just don't know why she had it off. Like, because it creates this discussion and this tension.
It's like, did you betray another institution? And then she goes into, anyone with blind faith in institutions is.
It's just like half that conversation is about her earring, and it's just like. Did you like? I don't understand why she wasn't wearing it.
I don't either.
It just bothered me. I was just like, I don't. It's sort of weird.
So yeah. I viewed it as it was almost a symbol to Picard, that if Picard hadn't commented on it, she thought he was a changeling.
Is that what it was?
That could be.
That's how I interpret.
That's interesting.
But then she still grilled him.
Yeah, once he said something about it, she still kind of had to know, What the
All
fuck?
right,
are you
if
doing,
that if
man?
that's it, then that's fine. I just it's one of those, like, the whole conversation was based around her faith and the earring and all that stuff. Uh, so I wasn't sure if that was like, I mean, if that was what it is, then fine. I missed it. I just I don't know. I wasn't quite sure. So
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that was kind of one of my issues with this episode was it was, like I said, I like my Star Trek episodes to have themes to them. And it seemed like this episode kind of was flirting with the idea of, faith in an institution versus an individual's sort of moral choices. But,
Yeah, basically a follow up to Preemptive Strike, or what happened at the end of that episode. So
yeah, but it
yeah,
seemed
I
like
was okay with that.
yeah, it seemed like it never stated its thesis. And maybe I'm an idiot, and maybe I should give them more credit for sort of addressing kind of the subtleties of involving that discussion.
To me, it was just wrapping up a character that was forgotten, almost forgotten by time and everything. So
Yep, just tying up hanging loose ends.
Yeah, so I mean,
I'm fine with it. I
and
just wish it was better.
yeah, I'm okay with that. I did like the exchange in the bar. We laughed. You and Steve, you and me laughed. We're like, okay, she's pointing a pistol, and they're going to holodeck, and I'm like, let me guess. We're gonna see that '80s bargain, aren't we?
Oh
And then I was right. I'm like, couldn't they use it? I mean, come on.
like,
Couldn't there be
why are
another
they, like,
holodeck
they,
program? Make something look. I don't know. I'm sick of that bar. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm toxic.
That's the only set
sick
they
of that
have.
bar.
So
I'm
that's
sick
what
of
they're
that
gonna-
bar.
Well,
I'd rather have them show something more classy, like they did in Voyager, at least.
Let's have them go out to
Yeah,
a
so
forest or something. I don't know. Fuck it.
From what I understand, the budget for this season is not what it has been.
Bigger than any earlier Star Trek season. They still managed to
Just
make.
have them go
stuff.
into an interrogation room. That's not expensive. You just get a square room with a table.
I don't disagree. I
mean, just going. I don't understand why they keep going to this bar for everything. It's like, isn't there a bar on the ship? Like, why do you have to go to the holodeck for a bar? Like, and if it's for privacy, that's weird.
I guess the Titan's not big enough for a bar for a 10 forward.
It's just like, look, and I get budget constraints. I get all that, but it's just like a square room with, like, go old school. Have them go square room with the table. We're interrogating each other.
Yeah.
And guess what? If they get to a point where they're done interrogating each other, guess what? You can have a cool little scene where it changes from the freaking interrogation room to the bar.
Yep. Nope. I
don't know. That's what they used to do, right? I mean, I've seen a few where they change what's going on in the holodeck because things have changed. Make it a tension-filled thing where they're interrogating each other, and then switch it to, it's like, okay, we've decided we're both not changelings. Let's go. We can get out of this dreary thing, right? I don't know.
Yep.
So the bar is it's just like it reeks of cheapness.
Yeah, they did the same. They did the same thing in earlier Picard seasons, or at least season 1. I barely remember season 2. But
Yeah.
Season 1, they kept going back to Picard's office at Chateau Picard and everything.
Well, can I say this though? At least I'm going to give them this. At least they didn't destroy the bar after episode 1, and then have to rebuild it for episode 5. Oh, sorry, my bad.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Picard
Better
season 1 and
show.
Wheel of Prime, I don't know, are tied for worst shows ever. But then again, Alex, you might totally disagree with me on that. Steve, you might disagree with me on that too. I don't know.
I do. Sorry, I haven't seen.
Of course you do.
So.
Of course you do. So, but yeah, we got so Starfleet is compromised now to the highest level, and the stakes have gotten bigger. No one can be trusted, and they have to get the fuck out of there. They lowered the personnel, and now they have to flee.
Yep.
And apparently the shapeshifters were on to Rowan all along, and they leave a bomb. They're taking the shuttle back. They leave a bomb on, and she's stuck on there. There's some inhibitor that's keeping her from being transported out, and she dies. She decides to run her shuttle into the nacelle of the Intrepid, and we get an emotional goodbye.
Steve, do you want to cover the problems with this, or should I?
I would like you to, but I want you to, because I asked Nerporo in the chat while we were watching, what, maybe you can answer this for me, because this is one of the technical Star Wars. I said Star Wars, I'm sorry, Star Trek question. They went to Red Alert, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't there a system in place to keep people from transporting on when you're at Red Alert?
There typically is, yeah.
Okay, just wanted to know, because they transport on and have that 4-man John Wick scene in the hallway with Aragon.
The Dominion have the ability to do that, though. They've done it in DS9.
Yeah, some
Oh, do they? Okay.
Sometimes
All right, cool.
the Dominion does.
That's part of what made the Dominion, especially in their opening episode, the Jem'Hadar at the end of season 2, very terrifying. Like they could just beam through shields. They can blast. They use their purple pew pew beams to blast through shields like they're nothing. Like they took out a galaxy. 2 little Jem'Hadar fighters took out a Galaxy class starship at the end of that episode. And that's what really brought. That's how we introduced
as long
the
as there's
Dominion.
precedent and that's something that they can do, then okay, fine. I just had to ask because it seemed weird because I thought shields blocked sort of everything until they were like down, so including transports.
Sort of. I thought you were going to say. So if the goal was to destroy this little ass shuttle, why the fuck did you teleport out, put a bomb on it, and then give her 5 minutes to pass the information and then drive the bomb into your fucking ship? Just shoot the fucking shuttle.
They did it for emotional.
They did
it for weak Star Trek fans like me, and give me an emotional payoff.
But
because you saw how I reacted, right? You saw how I reacted to that moment, right?
I did see that you were sort of that you were feeling it.
But he's absolutely right. It's one of those things. It's another one of those things. You've hurt your story for a payoff.
Yep. You've made your enemy stupid for a payoff.
I mean, it's one of those.
I feel stupid for not realizing that.
It's one of those. It's like,
thanks, Alex.
No. Look, man. Like I said,
no, I'm not giving you crap. I'm just.
They're
saying.
playing all the tricks.
Yep.
All of them. Every trick in the box they're playing. So it's one of those. He's absolutely right. You could have got the same thing with them. They just transport off, and then all of a sudden you see a red phaser headed right for the craft, and she turns around and says something, right, as she explodes, right, but then you have to have a space battle, and space battles are expensive, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to have her crash.
Also, goddamn. If I see one more fucking thing on fire in the vacuum of space, I'm going to lose my shit. But when I see a big bonfire on the nacelle of the Intrepid, I'm just, that's not how this works, guys.
Yeah, there's no oxygen in space.
Yeah, and this was so easy. Do the heartfelt speech. On the ship before she gets on the shuttle. And then, you think, play the dramatic music like she's going to return to the Intrepid. She's going to lead the Intrepid, and she's going to, uncover all the moles at Starfleet, and that she's going to be successful and save the day, and then have the shuttle get destroyed and have her die. That's how you're supposed to play that. You build it up so that her death is the gut shot. You're not, and it's just it's missing layups. And Steve, I think you're 100% correct. They're playing all the tricks, and maybe I was just in a better mood last week, but last week some of the tricks worked on me. This week it didn't. And Brian, I almost think it was reversed for you. I think last week, really the tricks weren't landing for you, and I think this week they are.
The row thing got him like big time. So like. I still think it was better than last week, but I hated last week where you guys were like, yeah, it's okay. I didn't think last week was very good, but
well, and I say tricks. The emotional beats. Trick is too harsh. I mean, we're not goobers for falling for an emotional beat.
Yeah.
But it's just mileage may vary.
Well, how many fake out deaths do we have this episode too?
Oh, it was Wheel of Prime quantities.
There were three.
At
three.
least three.
There
And
were,
then
there
I
were
was.
6 in the first minute.
I
Yep.
mean, yeah, but I'm talking about 3 scenes.
Oh, scenes, yeah.
Yeah, so there were like literally when Jack does his final when he dispatches the shapeshifters, I was curious if that was a fake out too. Don't you remember, Steve? I was like, is this real? Is this fake too?
yeah, I said
And no,
yeah.
it was real. I was just like, okay.
And that's why.
But before I even going further,
Yeah.
Brandon, thank you for renewing your membership to the Nerdporial Continuum. And yeah, if you're new here, consider joining the Nerdporial Continuum. I haven't really shilled for myself. And the other thing is, I'm drinking this delicious ice, this red or strawberry citrus ice in this beautifully carved Nerdporial glass. If you go to thenerdporiallifeform.com, there's some merch, product placement. I'm shamelessly plugging. Jeez.
I love it.
Yeah. Just if you want to support me, right now. So.
Oh boy, yeah. No. Hey, I think I'm. Oh man, I may have to update. No, I'm still good. Okay, good. I'm still feeling the vibes of the continuum. Sorry.
Okay, there's a good question. There's a good question here. Before is Sela still alive? We have no idea because they blew up Romulus, so we don't know what's going on with the Romulans. They're relocated all over the place. Who knows at this point? Who knows? I'm sure they did blow up Romulus, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah. I don't know. How did you feel about him just going into trans mode? Did you see my
thumbnail? Did you see my thumbnail?
I did. Was that
Mom? I'm Jason Bourne now.
Oh, is that? I was looking at the other one. I guess I didn't see it. Sorry. Yeah.
And I was using your thumbnail the thumbnail skills that you taught me. So I made little bubbles, and I put one with Jack on there, and I put one with Raffi on there, and I made speech bubbles. One for Jack saying, "Hey, look, Mom, I'm Jason Bourne now," and then the Raffi ones, "I still suck."
I don't know how I missed that. How did I looked at it? I saw you. I mean, I think I was inspecting your other one from last night. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was today. Ooh. That was today. I decided to be snarky.
Oh yeah, because I logged in quick. That's why I was. Like,
I feel now that you're telling me this, I feel kind of dumb now because I literally I went on Twitter and I said I really enjoyed the Ro and Picard stuff, and I said credit where credit's due, and I tagged Terry Metalis. So.
Oh, I would never tag that guy.
I don't know. I'm not had any issues.
There's no reason for you to feel stupid. Your initial reaction. I mean, you've watched it twice. If you enjoyed it twice, then you enjoyed it. There's no reason to feel stupid about that.
Now that they think about the way she dies, I do feel stupid now. I didn't think about that.
I mean, that doesn't. If you had an emotional response to the discussions and all that, the way she dies doesn't take away from that. But the way she dies is a blatant it
wasn't thought out.
It's another one of those things where it's like, well, where do we need the episode to end? Well, we need the episode to end with the Intrepid disabled and Ro dead. How do we accomplish that? Okay, now let's write the episode. So then they write the episode and they go, oh, well, the Intrepid's still there and Ro's still alive. How can we get rid of both of them at the same time? Oh, we can put her on a shuttle and have a countdown bomb timer, and she can sacrifice herself for the greater good. It's like, well, you don't think about how it's like, why? Like, it's not like the changelings were running out of the shuttle. They were gone instantly. They could have just blown it up. Yeah. Or I would think if this organization is as crazy as it sounds, they would just have killed her and took the shuttle over.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, why didn't they just kill
she had her back? She had her back to them.
They should have just taken
out a gun. They could just taken out a gun and shot them.
Or you know what? Better, even better. Shot her, assimilated her, and now there's a goo of Ro who Picard trusts.
I don't know what to think.
Right? If you just kill her, right? You just kill her, then they clone her, however they clone these things.
Mm-hmm.
and then they know that they trust each other. So now you have him dangling on a string because, and then that can come back to Beverly's trust no one thing, because now he trusts Ro, and Ro is now a changeling.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, like, look, that's just like, I don't know. It's like that. I think that's smarter. I think that's more dramatic. It's like, oh my God, they just made up and now she's a fucking changeling. What the fuck? Right. And then you have all that drama and Beverly's going, you can't trust her. He's like, I look into her eyes, blah, 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 blah. And then, you have you have your actual reveal. Your reveal is the characters, not to you. The characters go, oh my God, she's dead. She's really a changeling now. The characters are surprised, not the audience.
How after only an hour, a little over an hour, are you guys coming up with these things, and then this writer's room had months to come up with this?
I mean, I think that's interesting. I don't know. What do you think, Alex? Do you think that? I mean, am I alone? I think that would be interesting.
No, I think you're 100% right, and that is what a smart enemy would do. But as we've kind of discussed, you have to sacrifice the smart enemy for the emotional payoff.
I mean, you know what? You could even sacrifice the ship. I mean, you could even sacrifice the ship and say, like, I don't know. There's all kinds of ways to do it to make it look like all of a sudden she's not a triple agent or a double agent. But, you want to do espionage, that's espionage 101. Get somebody that's trusted by the enemy and take them.
Yep. Especially if you're a shapeshifter.
And the whole episode was about Ro gaining Picard's trust so they could combine their efforts to free Starfleet of the changelings. So talk about, now that's the payoff right there. Can you think that is a payoff right there? If she's dead and he doesn't even know it, and she's talking to him on the freaking shuttle going, don't trust anybody. I'll take care of your people on the Intrepid or something, or I'll do my part, you do yours, and you see her dead on the ground behind her, and it's a changeling talking to him.
Yeah, or if you wanted to give her the dramatic death, have her walking around with like a bomb strapped to her chest, and as they copy her, say, I always suspected this day was coming, and have her blow herself up and the 4 changelings around her. Like, there's ways to do this, and they chose kindergarten. And we wanted collegiate level, but I would have settled for 8th grade, and they continue to give me kindergarten.
Yeah, there's just better ways to do it. I think a lot better ways to do it. I think that's a good way to put it. So, kindergarten.
For me overall, this episode was a 5. It wasn't.
I think that's fair.
There were good parts. I thought the Picard and the Rose stuff was, for the most part, fine. I enjoyed Worf kicking the shit out of Raffi.
I think it's Patrick Stewart's strongest performance, and I think that's why it was more likable than the others.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Him when he turned the music on at the bar and then drew the phaser, I was like, man, that was smart. Good for Patrick Stewart's 90-year-old ass. I hate that they're in the holodeck. I mean, that was stupid to begin with, but fuck it.
Well, he actually had some gravitas too. It was one of those, he still had the little bit of that old sounding, but he was like passionate, and he was acting, right? It wasn't just like, so I think that gave a lot to this episode. I think the story just let it down again. Yep. So I don't know.
So we're 5 episodes in, and with all the glowing praise that this show's been getting, there's been more problems than not. And even this episode, which garnered extremely high praise, still has quite a few problems.
To be fair, like I said something, I said, like, after our initial watch, I said, you know what, I feel like it's better than the others, but something feels off.
Yeah.
And when you actually drill it down into it, there's a lot wrong. So I mean, I think there's a lot of I think there's a lot of fancy, you know, or I should say fancy. That's not the right word. A lot of tricks. We'll just say with the tricks. I don't know if tricks is a proper word, but a lot of pulling on heartstrings and stuff to get an emotional response being played.
Yep, and I've given an episode a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. So if I average that out, I'm at a 4 so far
for this series.
For the series up to episode 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very fair. I think I'd actually go with the 5 for this too. So I think we're right in the same spot. Maybe a little lower after talking to you about some of the stuff that's wrong, but I think a 5 is fair.
Mm.
So
what do you okay, man? I feel, dude. Now we destroyed you. Like, man, we're destroying somebody in episode.
Not exactly. I mean, I didn't think about the these, you know, the scenario of the of her death, but that does kind of you know, because like I said, that actually got my attention. I actually felt something during that moment, so I'm kind of pissed now thinking about that. I still really enjoyed the. I still really enjoyed. I don't know. I just the old Trek nerd in me really enjoyed that exchange between Ro and Picard, and yeah, the acting was great. I think that's pretty much what really sold it to me. And just I like it when they follow up on things that I felt were unresolved.
100%. If you're going to make this series where it's just old doddering Picard who can't do anything cool, who's very limited in kind of even his deliveries, yeah, use it to wrap up shit that you didn't wrap up at the beginning. I'm fine with that. I think that's even a solid usage of this season.
That's fine.
Lord knows it's better than fucking anti or pro illegal immigration propaganda. Like,
yeah. I just do it with some intelligence. I think I'm with you there. It's just like wrap up all the, if it's ending, just wrap up some shit.
Yeah, and it looks like cool. It looks like more and more people are agreeing with us so about this series. Yep. So, like, once again, like, man, we're not telling you to hate this show. If you have not seen the show and you want to watch it, go watch it and see for yourself. Just like Robert Meyer Burnett says, just go and see it for yourself and make your own judgments. Don't. I mean, all we could tell you is our insight and our takes. You know, you have to watch and basically form your own and figure out. You know, I mean, if you want to be technical about it, or if you just, you know, if you're like me, a Trekkie, and really just want to see something, you know, that follows up and, you know, resembles what made Star Trek, you know, distinctive in the first place. That's basically me. Yep. So, yeah, once again, don't take our word for it. Go if you're interested, go watch the show.
Yep.
I'm just gonna tell you, you're probably gonna see more new. It's still gonna have a lot in common with New Trek than true Star Trek. So that's just the warning I have.
See, I'm not sure if I agree with that, because I think if there's one thing that defines New Trek, it is
mystery box.
Well, I was going to say hatred towards the viewer and political propagandizing. Like, those are the two elements that I think really make up New Trek. This doesn't have either of those. This is a bad television, or this is a below average television show because it's severely hamstrung. It's trying to build on a very poor foundation, and then just the writers aren't that good. Not because they're distracted by fucking protesting Trump, but because they're just not that good. Which is a mile and a half better than, you know, it being terrible because not only are the writers terrible at their jobs, but they're also trying to stick a Stacey Abrams cameo in it. Like, so to an extent, I agree. You know, it's not TNG, but I disagree with you that it's New Trek. This is kind of in the middle. It's its own kind of brand new kind of poor thing.
Well,
it's kind of like the Abrams movies in a way. Like,
movies are New Trek.
Well, it's like what Daniel just said. Daniel just said it has more in common with 2009 Star Trek. Do you think that's accurate?
Yeah, but
yeah,
I really think don't get me wrong, the J.J. Abrams movies are bad, especially that third one. But the J.J. Abrams movies also weren't hateful political propaganda.
No, they weren't. And I mean, the villain was stupid, Nero. But there was a point in the movie, and I was re-listening to a scene where they offered their hand and help to Nero, and Nero's like, "I'd rather suffer 1,000,000 Romuluses than get help from you," the stupid shit like that. But it was just the fact that they were willing to extend a hand to help a villain it was a very Star Trek thing, and that was probably the thing that kind of sold me when it first came out. And of course, the fact that I fanboyed out over the fact that Nimoy was in the film. I got to see Nimoy play Spock. For the first time in my life because I didn't see any of the original 6. I was too young. First Star Trek movie I saw in the theater was First Contact. I was right before I turned 12 that year. It was 96. So my first movie going experience with Star Trek was the TNG films. So, and that's what got me into normal TNG. It was a struggle for me to get into TNG at first with the way the episodes were written.
At least, I got to say this. At least when Nero says fire everything, they fire everything.
Oh, also, can we talk about how fucking terrible the space battles are in this? Like, guys, we're in space. Lasers and missiles don't have to be on the same latitudinal plane. A ship can be like this and the other is up here and it can still shoot at it. And
yep,
we're living in a post-expanse world. We've done this well before. You have to adjust.
Well,
even old Trek was capable of that.
Look, and I hate to say this. I would love to see comparable budgets to The Expanse Season 1 in this. Because Expanse Season 1 did not have a lot of money. They were on Sci-Fi, for God's sakes.
And what's funny is the Sci-Fi, it seemed like they had a bigger budget when they were on Sci-Fi than with Amazon. Amazon just ruins everything now.
Well, the problem is that Amazon doesn't have good CGI artists, and they suck. I mean,
Amazon also had to pay a motherfucker to get everybody back, because when they switched, basically all the contracts ended, and everybody was like, "Yeah, we would love to come back." Write the fucking check.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay,
yeah,
that
makes
sense.
But
there's something wrong with Amazon CGI. I don't know what it is, but all their shows seem to have really wonky CGI.
Yeah, the CGI ones that they outsource to just aren't as good as the
yeah.
I would say the Disney ones, but Jesus Christ, have you seen any of the Disney garbage lately?
Nope. Thankfully, I have not.
No,
dude.
Eventually, I'm going to watch freaking National Treasure with Mags for some fucking reason because she wants to see me have a heart attack. But
I hear there's this great show called She-Hulk. I hear there's this great show called She-Hulk that you have to watch. Like, it's got the perfect CGI and everything.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I just, but budget, I get budget constraints, but, some things can just be, don't want some creativity. Use a creative mind,
especially in Star Trek.
I don't think most of you guys, and if I'm speaking out of turn, please tell me, but I don't think you would object to seeing some little bit of wonky sets that not quite as polished, that at least take some thought to put together, or if they use models instead of CGI starships. Like if they went back, that could have saved them some money. Just actually build some models and shoot some shots of models of the ships out in space. I don't know that you guys would have a problem with that, because that sort of harkens back to how they did all that stuff back in the day.
Yeah, 100%.
It doesn't take that much to build and paint a model.
Right. Shit, man. Steve, I would love to see a set. Have you seen a set? Because everything is so fucking dark. I guess can't see anything.
I was gonna say, to be fair, I think they have the bridge, they have sick bay, and they have the bar. I think that's all they got. In a hallway. They have a hallway they keep shooting from different directions. But I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus
Because I'm
Christ.
pretty sure the shuttle was the hallway, but with a wall behind it in a thing
I think you're right.
with a unit in front to
Mhm.
look like a shuttle. I'm pretty sure it was the hallway.
I think it was too.
I'm not 100% sure, but
the reason why I still compare this to New Trek is just the writing, the dialogue, the lighting, the single season, the single season arc that ends on shitty cliffhangers and what's this? I'm not answering that. I haven't finished the season yet. I haven't finished the season yet. I'm not going to give Pips the satisfaction.
There you go. I love it.
He's probably right though.
I don't know.
But that's kind of what I was thinking. Like I wasn't thinking of like, the messages and all that. But yeah, you're not wrong either, Alex. You're not wrong either because they were bad. Yeah, especially Picard. Especially and then the Stacey Abrams stuff. I don't know. Like it's hard to believe that I've said this before. Star Trek used to be a bipartisan type of thing. Now it did explore progressive ideas, especially from the 60s. A lot of older people who worked on the show, like Mike Akuda, go on Twitter and say this was always woke and everything. Maybe woke for its time.
Well, that's a
failure. When woke had a totally different definition.
Yeah, when woke was maybe it wouldn't be so bad if black people and white people got married. But and anybody who says Star Trek was woke misses the point of what woke is, because if it tells both sides of the argument in a reasonably intelligent and good faith way, it's not woke. It's an exploration of ideas.
Yeah.
New Trek has never done that, hasn't even tried, and in fact has intentionally gone out of its way to do the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's divisive. Whereas original Trek used to bring people together, bring nerds together, and had, like you said, the exchange of ideas. Deepening our horizons. Learning something new, seeing stuff from another point of view. Now it's single party. I mean, the Star Trek has become not Star Trek, New Trek, excuse me. It's just become another pawn of a certain blue jackass of a party. That I won't name directly, but I'm talking about, and that's just not how it should be. If you can't if all you're going to do is divide, then you're just leading this franchise, which at this point I still refuse to call it Star Trek. You're just killing it. You're going to kill it, and you're destroying you're further destroying the legacy.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that really got me about season 1 of Picard. And that really got me about what I learned that they did in Discovery and all the short treks and just seeing that ad, that political ad with all the Star Trek actors. Like, I get it. You don't like certain politicians. We get it, but the world doesn't revolve around California. Sorry.
Well, I mean, take it a step further, man. Checked out the calendar recently. Haven't not like they're having a whole bunch of good news about upcoming Star Trek projects.
Yeah, Discovery's after season 5. Discovery's done.
Picard's done after this, and I don't think New Worlds is getting a second one. So
no, they're getting a second season.
Oh, okay,
they announced it. So, but the thing is, it's Akiva Goldsman. They haven't announced any other new shows or confirmed that the existence of any other new shows. They keep talking about the Section 31 show that's never gotten off the ground. Who the hell wants a Section 31 show?
Can't wait. I'm sure it's in the exact same pile as the Chris Pine Star Trek 4.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the franchise is just gonna go into a deep hibernation.
It needs to, and then when all this shit is gone, come back.
They need to get rid of Secret Hideout once and for all, and they need to. And I'm going to agree with a lot of people, especially online. they need to go back to prior to the J.J. Abrams stuff and just start from there again. And I would just say do the Orville route. Just start in 25th century, a new crew, or do just do the TNG thing again with a new crew, and you do different world building, and then maybe you come up with a couple of shows in that era, the 25th century era, with new enemies, maybe now they have the ability to explore the entire galaxy this time, not just the Alpha Quadrant, but maybe all 4 quadrants, and then we encounter other species and more distant parts of the quadrant. They have faster speeds now. They can create wormholes. Who knows what they can do?
Isn't that built in to the first Abrams movie? Didn't they go into another timeline or some bullshit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, the Kelvin.
So that's built in. There's a restart built in. Just say, oh, we're in the original timeline. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
We're in the prime timeline.
But they screwed with the.
That's right. Didn't Discovery fuck with it or something like that? I don't know.
The J.J. Abrams film was screwed with the Romulan. We're assuming. What's funny is they claim that Nero and Spock are from the timeline that we all know, that we all watch, from original series to Enterprise. Well, maybe we could be mistaken. Maybe they're from another flicker reality that's maybe very similar, but not quite the same.
There's something. My point
exactly
of view
what
is
the world needs: more multiverse garbage.
Well, look, I think it's built in. You just say, you put a throwaway line into your new show in 10 years. It says Kelvin timeline. Oh, that's just a bunch of fucking hokey pokey. That's all bullshit, right? And it's like, oh, okay, cool. That's gone now.
And just get rid of.
Just eliminate. It's like Kelvin timeline.
Like
that's some ridiculous, changeling propaganda. Blah,
like the
oh,
portal
okay.
weapon. I think it's just this all the new Trek shows and we'll leave the Abrams show can stay in its own Kelvin timeline, whatever. But just disengage it. Just disengage these series and just go back and just work on everything from Nemesis. And then just kind of come up with a story from there. Set 100 years later. Have it not like do what they did with TNG. Don't touch the original series and don't touch TNG era. Just start your own new era. Be as creative about as possible. Stay away from all the older aliens. Stop with the member berries. Just go forward and be creative about it.
You can have some historical mentions of Kirk or something in the past.
Well,
don't include it.
TNG. They only mentioned Kirk once.
Yeah.
And that was in The Naked Now. And that's something Mr. Roddenberry did not want them to do. They did not want him. They want no Vulcans. They didn't want anything that connected to the original series. They want everything brand new to be able to stand on its own 2 feet. And that's why I think they should go the TNG route if they create a new show in the late 25th, in the mid to late 25th century.
I agree, 100%.
I mean, the Orville was kind of that thing. And, as far as people were concerned, that was the true heir appearance until the stuff that they did in season 3, which they decided to go and be divisive because Seth couldn't stay away from, that. Yeah, like you said, I thought it was a Romulan, like he's emoting, like what, gangster Vulcans just are still they have emotion now. Like seriously, like you might as well just merge the Romulans and Vulcans into a single race at this point. If you can't even make them distinctive.
Is that not what we've been doing since 2009?
Jesus.
I mean, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, we've gone into the ether.
No, yeah, sorry. I know you guys got somewhere else to go. So you guys, you guys have anything you want to plug? Isn't there a stream going on like right after this?
Yes, we are going live on the White Cloaks. We have a Dragon Mount video that woof, it was bad.
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it on purpose because Pips told me not to. I watched 5 seconds and almost killed another keyboard. The first 5 seconds. It's
it was. I'm excited. Also, I just want to give a shout out to my boys at Farley Dickinson University for knocking off Purdue. That is the second ever number 16 seed beating a 1 seed.
Farley Dickinson. Wow.
Farley Dickinson University.
Wow. A Dickinson finally in the
In the second round.
Oh,
Do not
boy.
ask me anything about Farley Dickinson because I thought it was Fordham up until the third quarter of the game.
Dude, you think of the person that bet on them to win the tournament if they win. That guy's gonna win so much money. You bet $1, he's gonna make like $1 billion. It's like $1 billion to 1. It's like, what? Fucking hell. All right, sorry. I don't know. I'm gonna be on there too. I'm gonna be in pain though. They're gonna be laughing at me.
So yeah, if you put $100 down on Farley Dickinson just for that game, you won $2,100.
Youch.
All right, guys. But this was another great discussion. I'm still happy with the episode, despite the fact that I'm now like I was here now I'm here because of that scenario that you guys pointed out. And it's not your fault; it's the writer's fault for not thinking it through. So, but hey,
That's it.
Hey, this is Picard season 3. So at this point, I don't know. It seems like people are very willing to forgive for this. So whatever. But everybody, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. And yeah, go to the White Cloaks and watch the Dragon Mouth's bad takes. I mean, I have had the honor or dishonor, I'll say dishonor, of listening to their bad takes, and I've turned it into humor. So if you want to hear bad takes, just create your own videos and turn into memes. That's what I did for my Wheel of Time stream. So there you go.
There you go.
So all right, so everybody go over there afterwards, and well, thanks for once again. Thank you, and everybody take care. Stay Nerporial. May the wings of Nerporials carry you to the White Cloak stream, and then after that Sunday, my stream talking about my trip.
There you go.
So
That's
be doing that, and then of course the Picard stuff next week. 5 more episodes. Will it end with all the feels? Will this be the bigger send off than Star Trek 6? I doubt it, but we shall see. But everybody, take care, and I'm going to show that tribute once again if you didn't see it earlier.